Welcome to Biology My Passion. I am Soumya Harikrishna. We are dealing with the chapter Evolution. Today we are starting with theories of evolution. When we talk about the theories of evolution, there are four main theories that we are supposed to discuss. The first one is inheritance of acquired characters by Lamarck. That is called the Lamarckism. Then theory of natural selection, the well-known theory by Darwin. Then mutation theory, that is post-Darwinian. Lamarckism is pre-Darwinian, whereas post-Darwinian is De Vries mutation theory. And we have to discuss modern concepts of evolution. So in this module, we are going to discuss the first two, that is Lamarckism and Darwinian theories of evolution. In this video, we will discuss Lamarckism. Inheritance of acquired character is a theory put forward by a scientist called Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. And it was published in a book called Philosophie Zoologique in 1809. The factors coming under Lamarckism are new needs, acquisition of characters, and inheritance of acquired characters. Let us discuss this one by one. First of all, new needs. Variations in the environment of the organism creates a new need for the organism to adapt to changes, or else the organism will not survive. So in the new habitat, there may be fresh or extensive use of certain organs in the body or certain parts of the body compared to other parts, and certain other organs may not be used at all. Next is acquisition of characters. Characters are acquired to meet the new needs in three ways: innate tendency, use and disuse of organs, effect of environment. Innate tendency means every organism has an innate tendency or inherent tendency to move towards complexity. Lamarck told evolution, it depends upon the need of the organism. The next is use and disuse of organs. Continuous and extensive use of certain organs will help in making those organs larger, stronger and more complex. At the same time, if a particular organ is not used, that may gradually lead to the disappearance of that organ. Effect of environment. So the variations or changes happening in the environment will ultimately lead to the change in the body organization of the animal. Now the third factor is inheritance of acquired characters. Acquired characters means what? The characters that we acquire during our lifetime. Okay, so according to Lamarck, the acquired characters are actually passing on to the next generation, and each generation will have their own acquired characters. So eventually many acquired characters will pass from one generation to other, causing more and more variations, ultimately leading to origin of a new species. Now if we see the examples of these theories proposed by Lamarck, the first one is about giraffe. It is believed that giraffe had ancestors like deer. They had short forelimbs and short neck. Initially they used to feed on the leaves available on the ground or their own level. Later, once their number increased and there was actually competition for getting leaves. So gradually the leaves got over, they had to stretch their neck to get leaf from the taller trees. So when they were stretching it continuously, it became elongated. It's not very long, but slight elongation or stretching happened. Both forelimbs at the same time, the neck also. But this passed on to the next generation. According to Lamarck, acquired characters also can pass on to the next generation. So next generation, again they stretched more. Then next generation more. It's each time this stretching or the stretched neck habit was actually passing on from generation to generation. So ultimately it formed the present day giraffe, like long neck and a very tall forelimbs. Another example of this is the aquatic birds. We know aquatic birds like duck and all, if you see, they have a kind of skin in between their toes, right? It is helping them to row in the water or move in the water. So initially their ancestors were terrestrial. Once they started moving into water, they wanted to swim in order to avoid from sinking. So once they kept on swimming using their limbs, what happened, their hind limbs especially, what happened? The hind limb, the basic part of the hind limb or the bottom part became flat and some skin extended in between their toes, giving an appearance of webbed feet. If you see the case of a blacksmith, He has a well-developed biceps if you see them, because they are continuously using their arms for hard work. These are examples of using an organ and it is becoming more complex. Now let us see two examples of disuse. One is in the case of snakes. Snakes had ancestors like lizard. You know, lizards have two pairs of limbs, even snake ancestors had limbs. But in order to escape from huge predators, they used to be very flat on the ground, and also they used to hide in narrow holes, crevices and very congested thick vegetation. There it necessitated the elongated body. So they used to stretch their body in order to fit into those crevices or holes, and at the same time they would keep their limbs without using very close to their body. So this continued for several generations and the limbs were not at all used. So what happened? Their limbs got disappeared eventually over a period of time. Another example is cave dwellers. So animals living in dark, they have lost the ability to view because they lost the pigments in the eye because of disuse. Though the theories by Lamarck proved to be correct or accurate in the beginning, later it was proved faulty. So we will see now the criticisms about this particular theory. So out of these three factors, if you look at the first two, new needs or acquisition of characters, these two theories are more or less true, or we can believe. But the last one, inheritance of acquired characters, is not true, because we know acquired characters are making changes into our normal cells or called somatic cells, but that will not be inherited. So this was disproved by a scientist called August Weismann in 1892 through his theory of continuity of germplasm. According to August Weismann, there are two types of cells in the body of all organisms: somatic cells and germ cells. Now we know what are germ cells. Germ cells are the gametes. So we know only the changes happening to the germ cell will pass on to the next generation, because from parents only germ cells are going to the child, right? Whereas somatic cells will have changes or acquired characters will be there, but that will not be inherited, and also somatic cells cannot make influence on germ cells or change them. So this theory of Lamarck was proved wrong, and also many other evidences were given to substantiate this. One was about the piercing of ears. We know among Indian, the women, they pierce their ear or nose for several generations or thousands of generations. But every new girl is born without a hole, right? Again they have to pierce. So if the acquired characters would pass on, we would have got pierced ear by birth itself. That's not happening. Or there was a system of teeny tiny waist in European ladies. They used to have always 18-inch waist was ideal for them. For them, they used to wear corset very tight, that would often make them faint also. But now we know it is not healthy, but over a period of several generations they wore it, but still they had to wear it in order to get that waistline. And another myth among Chinese women. Among Chinese women, the smallest feet is considered the most beautiful one. So for that they wear very tight wooden or iron shoes to restrict the growth of the feet. But again, after several generations also, a new female has to wear it in order to make her feet shorter. So these are different arguments, or in our day-to-day life also we can see. If the acquired characters or the skills would pass on, if your father or mother knows driving or swimming, by birth itself the child can drive or swim, right? The skill is acquired. Or we know some people by accident they have to amputate their organs or they deform their organs, but the baby can be normal, absolutely normal, because it happened later. Or we can say that if the father is a postgraduate, the child has to start again from KG, right? So these are all proved wrong. The Lamarck's theory of inheritance of acquired characters proved wrong. Only inherited characters can pass on from generation to generation. But we cannot discard Lamarck's theory continuously, because recently some theories have proven that some germ cells can form from somatic cells also. So we cannot completely discard Lamarckism. So scientists came up with a modified form of Lamarckism called a Neo-Lamarckism. Neo-Lamarckism has got two main postulates. One is germ cells may be influenced by environment. So there can be changes which can pass on to the next generation. And also germ cells sometimes may carry acquired traits to next generation.